The backstory is that we have been bootstrapping Orderstep from the very beginning. So we've been working on the side to make money. I would say the biggest challenge is simply to get the things done and to move forward as fast as you might want to. So simply making it the most user-friendly system you can use to have communication with your customers regarding their quotes. So I'm the co-founder of the company. I have the responsibility as the CEO, so I'm overseeing the strategy of the company. And also I'm the CTO and developer, so I'm also doing the technical implementations, and I'm overseeing all of the development work. I have built probably 90% of the product. And then we've used Redwerk to do some of the work that might not be our competencies or where we didn't have time to do it ourselves. So I've always been in tech, so to say. I have a bachelor's in in computer science and business administration, and I've been working as a developer my whole career. What inspires me the most is to help my clients, my users, and generally help people around me. That's what inspires me. So I'm trying to always build things that can help and to do it in a way so it makes sense for the users. Money, I would say. There's a lot of things you want to do. There's a lot of things you want to help with, but you don't have time yourself to do all of it, and you don't have the money to always get help from outside to do it. So I would say the biggest challenge is simply to get the things done and to move forward as fast as you might want to. So it's a lot about priorities and always looking at saying, okay, where this task, is it the most important task right now? Is that what we should focus on? Or is there some other task that might be more important that we take first? Even though we want to do all of it, we just can't. So my days are never the same. It's hard to really keep a schedule on it because we are a small company. We have a sales guy. He's talking to the client. So questions are coming in like basically all hours of the day from customers. Also, we have support for our users. So they also write to us, and sometimes I'm also the supporter. So I need to take care of the customer support. So it's really hard to plan and actually to stay focused. I'm trying to shut down. I'm trying to take out times during the day to say, okay, in the next 3 hours, I'm focusing on development, and then kind of postponing all the other tasks and all the other things until when I'm done with that. But it can be hard when you're a small team and things need to move forward. So we need to go back around 6-7 years, where it all started. Back then, we could see that there was a lot of people struggling with doing calculations on their quotes. So whenever you needed to kind of find out how much to charge for a product, you needed to sit in Excel and do a lot of calculations and then calculate the final price of the product. That's actually where we started with the company that back then was called Terasio. And then we've been doing that for a few years, and then we got some partners 2 years ago, where we did a rebranding and actually changed the name from Terasio to Orderstep, and we focused more on making it easy and making it simple to do quotes. So taking a step in a different direction, so to say, and not focusing as much on the calculation part, but focusing on all of the tedious administration tasks there is around a quote, and making it easy to administrate those. and to make it easy to communicate with your customer from Orderstep. So simply making it the most user-friendly system you can use to have communication with your customers regarding their quotes. The backstory is that we have been bootstrapping Orderstep from the very beginning. So we've been working on the side to make money, to make a living, and to fund Orderstep ourselves through working as consultants or otherwise. When we got the new partners in 2 years ago, we wanted to try a different strategy. So we wanted to try and go out and find investment capital instead, so that we could free up the time that we were spending as consultants, so we could focus 100% in Orderstep and kind of work on Orderstep, and then get someone else to fund us so we still get a salary. And then when we contacted our first customer, Videx, and told them that this is the way we've been working. We have a very close relationship with Videx. They were the first ones on board, and they've been beta customers on this product basically for the last 2-3 years. So when we told them that this is the strategy, this is the way we're going, they basically just said, why can't we be investors? We would like to invest in you. We like you guys. We know what you're doing. We know how good people you are. We trust you, and we want to be part of what you're building, and we want to support you because we believe in you. And that's basically how it started. And then from there, we of course had all the negotiations you have, like what's the valuation, how does it go, how much, like all those talks back and forth, right? You have with an investor. So the whole story comes from them believing so much in us and in the product we built, that they could see that there was a potential for this product in the market. It's a very, very good question. I'm actually not sure. In my like what we're seeing, like I can talk about Denmark right now because that's where I live, and what we're seeing in Denmark is that they're trying to make everything more digital. So I think we are close to being one of the most digital countries in the world. I think there's a few that has more digitalization than we do, but everything they're trying to make digital. So our driver's license is an app. Our social security cards is an app. We have one login to everything, to banks, to government sites, everything. We have one app that gives you access to all of these things. So I like the idea that things are becoming more and more digital, that we can do things more and more online, which means that I don't have to go stand in line somewhere. If I need to move from one city to another, I go to a website and I say, I'm moving from here to here, and I'm done. So I like this kind of concept. It's been going on for many years now, but that's kind of, for me, this is the thing that I like. I like that things are becoming more and more digital. And kind of moving that way. It's not really a trend in tech, but it's kind of more a thing that's happening in around us. Yeah, so it was a different time. Everyone knows about Ukraine right now, what's going on, and it's an extremely sad situation. Back in 2011, when I moved to Ukraine, the country was a completely different state than it is right now. It was right before the European Championships. It's also going to be there in 2012. And what I know about Ukraine from that time is a lot of happy people and a lot of very, very nice people, very welcoming people. I had some of the best years of my life living in Ukraine. I met my wife there as well. So Ukraine means a lot to me, and it has a special place in my heart from the time I spent there and all the friends I have from the time. So it's it's a very special place, and yeah. So the openness, I would say, the ability to talk to anyone and go anywhere you want without fear, so to say. I always remember from that time that a lot of my colleagues always told me, never go alone, be like, you need to always be with someone because there's things happening. But I never had any problems there, even though I was alone in a lot of places. So I know there in every country, all over the world, there's always bad people. And of course, the same with Ukraine. There's always going to be some bad people living in a country. It's the same in Denmark. There's even places in Denmark I'm afraid to go. So that's just has nothing to do with the country as such. But on overall perspective, I would say I felt very, very safe to be in Ukraine and with the people there. And when you meet people, they're always happy and they share things with you and welcome you to their houses and so on. So it was a very pleasant experience to be there. That's actually a good question. I have a hard time kind of supporting, just a Red Cross or something that's, some of these big organizations. It's hard for me because I don't know where the money goes. So I'm actually not sure how I'm helping or what I'm helping when I'm paying to these big organizations. So what I've done is I've tried to support the locals. So I tried to find some people that I know or some people that is in areas that I know is actually doing good things. So I've been looking for people that are helping either on the ground or in my case, I have family there. So I've been doing a lot of things to help my family. I traveled myself to Budapest to pick up my parents-in-law to make sure they got to Denmark safely and away from the war. So I've been trying to do things myself as well to help the people closest to me. So I think if you don't have someone nearby and if you don't know someone in Ukraine that you can help directly, I would definitely try and go to some of the more official sites and look at what they are offering. Maybe talk to, in this case here, talk to Redwerk, talk to the people at Redwerk, ask them how they believe that you can help the most. Because I think, unfortunately, there's a lot of scammers out there that's trying to make money on the crisis and on the invasion that's happening right now. So you can very quickly pay money to the wrong people that will just end up in some pocket of some person somewhere and actually not being used to help the locals. I was afraid and angry at the same time because my wife, her mother and father and brother was living there at the time. So I was afraid for them and what was going to happen to them. And at the same time, I felt a bit of anger because I actually a bit of disbelief as well, because everyone I talked to and everyone that I knew said nothing's going to happen. It's just Putin and he's doing the things he's always been doing, right? So there's like, yeah, he's not going to do anything, right? So everyone was a little bit surprised, I believe, when he finally actually did go in and start the invasion of Ukraine. And kind of, yeah, it's really hard to explain what feelings go through you when you experience something like this. That's just shouldn't happen and shouldn't be possible to do in our world today. Thinking about what happened in the past and thinking about that we should be more mature as a world today than we was before. But looks like there are still some ideologies and some people living in old times and think they can still do whatever they want. On the top of my head, it must be that you should help people. I'm not sure if people don't agree with me, because I actually think a lot of people do agree with me. It's extremely difficult to do. I don't know if anyone has ever tried to just go up to someone and try to help them. You'll most likely they will be angry with you for helping them. So there's a challenge with, I would say, maybe not mentality, but if you understand what I mean, that people don't want help from strangers because they don't know if they can act, if what they're getting is actually help. There's a kind of a trust issue here, where I believe that we should help each other more. I actually think it's extremely difficult to do it, and that's where this disagreement comes in. Because even though it's something that I believe most of us think we should do and help each other, it's just extremely difficult to actually do in real life and to actually help people, because either you're helping someone and they turn around and they just run away, or you kind of try to help someone and they get angry with you. Good question. I actually don't know. I'm actually pretty happy with what I've done. I think if I wouldn't be the person I am today if I had changed my past, so to say. So I actually don't want to change anything about it, because then I would end up as a different person today if I had known that things. Of course, there's always things that you would have liked to know before, so you wouldn't have made certain mistakes. But those mistakes is also what makes you who you are and what you learn from. So if you haven't made those mistakes, then you wouldn't have become the person you are today. So in my case, I'm actually pretty happy with where I am. I'm happy with my life. So there's actually not much I want to change. There's some things about the future that I would like to change, but that's something I have to do from today going forward and make sure that happens. Anything's possible, more or less. At least the way I go to things. I'll think about it. I don't have a thing right now. Sorry.